What's up guys, it's Cobalt here and welcome back to another video. You all know the drill at this point, but today I have another Wave 3 G7 unboxing video for you guys. I'm super excited about this one because not only do I love this set, but it also comes with 2 of the new main 5 LPS. I also got to give a huge shout out and thank you to BasicFun for sending me this set to review with you guys today. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. So here's the set. It is the Grooming Spa Play Pack and it comes with LPS number 172 through 174. I think all the pets in here are super cute, but obviously I do have some extra things to say about these 2 down here, especially the Dachshunds, since this will be the first time that we are looking at the new Dachshunds. But I just love the theming and all the accessories. I think they are so adorable. Of course, the LPS on the side of the box, the display of them all on the back of the box. Fingers crossed for the short hair cat card, but honestly I would be happy with a card for any of these pets. And then of course this side of the box I think is the cutest, and then we got some more little fuzzy pals on the top of the box. Once again, here's the background that this set comes with. Even though I guess it's meant to be a bathroom, honestly I could see you using this for a background for pretty much any room, and I think this is also super cute. So here are all of the goodies that we get in this set. Of course, card reveal, we did actually get the short hair cat. She is really adorable in this photo. Number 173, chilliest, level 3, and rare. Then here, of course, is the Roblox coin. And as always, we gotta start off with all of our little accessories. This one doesn't come with too many accessories, but first up we have this duck. We've seen rubber ducks like this in previous G2 LPS sets, but this is actually a new mold for the duck, and I think he is pretty cute. I really like this a lot. Then we have the iconic LPS hair dryer, this shampoo bottle, which I believe is another new accessory, and I actually think this is super cute. Again, it's super detailed. I love all the paw imagery on it, and it says LPS as well. Then we have this other new accessory, which I totally thought was a toothbrush, but now that I'm looking at it, I think it might be like a back scrubber or something, but it also has little details on it. It's got these little hearts here at the bottom, and I love the color as well. And again, the paw shape on it is so cute. Then we have our one big accessory for this set. It has this little cardboard bubble bath inside, which you could keep and continue to use in the bathtub. This is the exact same bathtub that comes in the house play set. I again really love the sculpt of it. I think it's so detailed, but I really appreciate that this is a totally naturally colored bath, and I think that it actually just looks amazing, and I will totally be using this. And there's also this little hairbrush, which we've only had in blue before, so now we finally have a purple one. Now for the pets, first up we have the Pomeranian. I think her design is so cute and I love the colors, but unfortunately because she has a slight gradient on her face, it made one of her eyes extra grainy. This eye isn't too bad, but this one is definitely suffering from the curse of the gradients. But I love the little hearts in her ears, and again, like in theory, this design is so cute. Hopefully there are other versions of her out there that are executed a little bit better, but I really love the like deep reddish brown color of her eyes as well. I think that is so nice. Now let's talk about the short hair cat, because she is our second short hair cat for G7. I definitely like her a lot better than our orange one, which I will compare in a minute, but unfortunately she is once again suffering from the extra long neck problem. It's not that her actual neck on her body is too long, but the peg is just sticking out so much, which creates this really weird gap between the head and the body, which looks super unnatural and just not great. She also has a little bit of extra plastic on the lip here on the bottom of her head, but luckily her gradient actually does look quite nice. Her ears, on the other hand, don't look as good. I don't really think the gradient there was necessary, but again, the gradient on her paws looks pretty good, and same with the tail, although there isn't really too much of a gradient there with the tail. I also really wish that her nose was painted. I think it would have been super cute to just paint it the same color as her inner ears, but the choice of painting the ears in this way is also really strange. I'm not really sure what the thought process was behind that, and since we did actually get the card of the short hair cat, here is a side-by-side comparison between the actual product and what she looks like in a promotional image. So she looks a lot more like a classic authentic G1 short hair cat or G2 short hair cat, but I don't really get those same vibes here from the actual product. So now a comparison of both of our G7 short hair cats so far. Again, both of them have very pointed ears, and their heads are almost a complete circle that almost feel narrower on the bottom of their heads and wider on the top of their heads. Whereas if I were to compare her to a normal short hair, you can see the bottoms of their heads are actually much wider compared to the top. Their ears are not as long and pointy, and they have more defined cheeks and even a more defined mouth. Although, like I said, I think that this one is better than this cat. Their eyes are almost identical, but because this one has dark purple eyes, she's kind of suffering from the bug eye effect, where this one really doesn't have it as much because her eyes are such a light color. And the reason why I say that in particular is because she has such a small amount of white in her eye. This one does too, but she even has more than the orange one, and I think that's definitely a problem and that both of them suffer from. They would be a lot cuter if they just had a little bit more eye whites. And then as a longtime collector, I also think that they would look a lot cuter if the original short hair cat mold was actually used instead of using a remold, because as you can see on the bottom of her stomach, you can barely see it, but it does say 2024, so she is unfortunately a remold. But I've already discussed everything there is to discuss about a short hair cat in my other video, so let's finally move on to the Dachshund. Right off the bat, unfortunately, she also has the same long neck problem, which is interesting because the Great Dane, Collie, and Cocker Spaniel do not have that issue, so I'm not sure why it seems to be exclusive to the short hairs and the Dachshunds. But without comparing her to anything, her mold actually looks quite good and feels very reminiscent to the old ones in my opinion. Despite having a very spotty gradient, her eyes don't look too bad, but her little freckles on her nose are a little bit misplaced. She also has gradients on her paws and on the back paws. You can especially see on the back, but the head to body coloration is quite different, but it's a little bit more subtle in real life than it is on camera. So let's do a comparison, of course. I have two different Dachshunds to compare her to. This is one from Generation 1 that has a slightly different body, so don't worry about that, but the reason why I wanted to compare these two is because they are definitely supposed to be a remake of this one right here, and you can see that in pretty much every way except for the inclusion of the gradient on the new one. And if BasicFun is going to remake pets like this, I definitely think that it is a cool idea to include extra new details that the original ones do not have. But let's compare her to an actual G2 Dachshund, which I have right here, so you can more properly see the comparisons. This one has much more defined lumps, I suppose, on its head than this one does. You can see it's a lot more smoothed across, and once again, this one does not have the problem with the neck. Its head sits completely flush to its neck, where this one has a huge gap for some reason. This one also has different seams on its body. It has almost like a upside down Y seam right here. Bit hard to see, but this one does not have that. Then we move on to the side. This one actually has a seam going along the bottom of its body that this one does not have. You can also see that this one's head is a little bit more narrow. We don't really get as much of the back of the head sticking out from behind the ears, and this one has a much taller forehead as well. The backs both look pretty on point, but obviously the front of the face is a lot more important than what the back of the pet looks like. Her snout also appears to be a lot more angular and sort of pointed up, and it really creases in here more than this one does, which is very interesting. She has a really strange looking side profile. But yeah, that is pretty much the best comparison that I can give between these two pets. Of course, she also does say 2024 on the bottom, so like the short hair cat and all the other main 5 pets, she is also a remold. But aside from the neck peg being my biggest gripe, I think that she is fairly serviceable for a remold, just like how I feel about the Great Dane. So like I said at the beginning of the video, I really do love this set. I think it's probably one of my favorites from G7, but of course I would like it a little bit better if the short hair cat especially was more of a exact mold or a closer replica to the original short hair cat molds. But again, that is purely my opinion as somebody who has been collecting LPS for pretty much my entire life, so I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about these down below in the comments. Of course, once again, huge shout out to BasicFun for sending me these pets to review. I am so grateful for them, and I really hope that all of you guys will have the best of lucks finding them at your local stores. I'll be putting links to where you can purchase this set down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!